Welcome to the City of Piedmont Objective Design Standards project. This video will explain what objective design standards are, how the city will be developing standards, and how you can learn more and get involved. The purpose of creating objective design standards is to streamline the design review process and enhance housing production by providing clear and consistent expectations of high-quality design as well as comply with state law. This initiative will develop objective design standards, ODS, for 1 to 4 unit residential development. It will also update objective design standards for accessory dwelling units, ADU, and multifamily and mixed use development. People often ask, what are objective design standards? Objective design standards involve no personal or subjective judgment and are uniformly verifiable or measurable. Project applicants as well as the public know the rules in advance and know that they'll be applied fairly and consistently. The state of California has adopted legislation requiring cities to approve certain housing proposals through staff-level review, referred to as ministerial review. And that review must be based on objective standards. In other words, objective design standards are standards that are enforceable, measurable, and verifiable. The use of terms such as must and shall make clear what is a requirement. In contrast, subjective design standards require interpretation by city staff or discretionary boards. Subjective standards can be difficult to measure and interpretation can vary from person to person. For example, a requirement that a building front entrance must have a welcoming front entry is a subjective standard, while a requirement that a front entryway shall have a minimum area of 40 square feet is an objective standard. Replacing subjective guidelines with objective standards is expected to provide clear expectations for residents, property owners, and builders. The standards are also expected to produce quicker and more predictable applications and processing timelines. Why are objective design standards being developed? The intention is to streamline development and build more housing and follow state laws. But for local communities, objective standards can also help define a community's development goals and maintain neighborhood character. Objective design standards, along with zoning, shape development in a number of ways. Zoning regulations shape all development sites. Zoning describes the land use activities that are permitted, as well as the types of building, such as single-family residential or commercial buildings. Zoning also shapes the building envelope. Requirements for allowable uses specified in zoning determine the building envelope or buildable area. For example, a certain use may be allowed to cover a greater portion of the site than another. Objective design standards provide requirements for site planning and building shape. Objective design standards layer site standards such as pedestrian access, parking location, and landscaping for open spaces. Objective design standards regulate specifics of building design such as massing breaks, facade treatment, building entries, and windows. The design standard will reflect the variety of building types and architectural styles appropriate in Piedmont and address topics such as site planning, building massing, materials, landscaping, and parking. The team will work diligently to establish rigorous standards to ensure good design for new buildings in Piedmont. The initiatives to develop objective design standards, ODS, for 1 to 4 unit residential development and update standards for accessory dwelling units, ADU, and multifamily and mixed use development will be broken into phases. The first phase of strategy development will be to gather data to inform the strategy. This includes a review of Piedmont's existing design guidelines and standards, and a study of existing architectural styles, building types, streetscape patterns, building materials, and articulation, landscaping, and other characteristics in Piedmont to provide the basis for the new design standards. It will also research objective design standards developed by other similar jurisdictions. A series of case studies will be used to evaluate existing policies and development standards on a few typical sites or housing element opportunity sites in Piedmont. Based on the research and results of community engagement, the project team will prepare standards for 1 to 4 unit residential development. If needed, it will also update existing objective design standards for ADUs and multifamily and mixed-use development. In the third phase, the draft objective design standards will be shared for public review and comment before coming to the Planning Commission for recommendations and the City Council for adoption. Throughout the process, the project team will engage with the community through a series of open houses, pop-up events, stakeholder meetings, an online survey, and short videos, such as this one. A subcommittee of the Planning Commission will provide oversight and input throughout the process. To learn more, please visit the Objective Design Standards project page at www.piedmont.ca.gov/ODS. You can also sign up to receive Planning and Building Department news emails, which will provide updates throughout the process. Links to learn more and join the department news emails are available through the QR codes on the screen. We welcome your input.